Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the brand new ports of Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. I figured out a way to fix their dead zones. If you don't know, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 back on the Xbox 360 and PS3 had built-in dead zones. That was fine for the controllers back in the day because they had a lot of stick drift. And so if you touch the controller a little bit, it would instantly have an input on those games. That's not the case anymore. These controllers that you can get are stacked. And whether it's a regular DualSense, a DualSense, Edge, or a pro controller like a Scuff or an aim controller, which use code Rara, you get a nice discount, you guys would not feel the responsiveness that you normally would on any other game. So I decided to build something into my website. If you guys don't know, I have an audio app, raraaudio.com. And if you go to the website, this is what it looks like. I added a controller calibrator tab. This is great if you want to remove stick drift in general on your controller. I've made it so that there's a free version. You can just do that, or you can $5, you get a lifetime supply of it. You can then use the Anti Deadzone, and I'll show you how that works. So first off, you're going to want to save your controller. The reason is because I am overwriting information that's built into the controller on its dead zones and everything else. Every controller comes out of a factory with built-in dead zones. That's how they, can make so many controllers, even if they have mistakes like, stick drift and things like that. They can program each one so that they have less stick drift. Now, yes, that's me telling you, there is a built-in dead zone right now on your controller. Doesn't matter what you have. If it's a Game Sir, if it's a aim controller, if it's a Scuff, or if it's the cheapest piece of shit you ever bought, it's got a built-in dead zone. Don't worry, you can adjust it with my software, but this is what you're going to do. So you're going to hit save, and it's going to save it. If you don't have your controller plugged in or you haven't done that before, it's going to ask you what your controller is up on the top left. You just click it. Now that you're on the website, you can see your controller is there. And also, I have it set up currently connected to my PS5. So I can go through and, choose what I want to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of an anti-dead zone and add a little bit of an anti-dead zone. Now, the reason I'm doing it right now with the DualSense is because it's a lot harder to calibrate your settings, and you're going to have to, slowly play with it. Everybody's controller is different. You're not going to have the identical to me. But you can see I'm on stable linear right now. You could try saturated jump as well, or first jump. Circle guard and cleaner circle are safe ways of doing both of these. These are the harder ones. I'm going to show you with stable linear just for, my own sake. But when you do this, right, let me actually, before we even do it, let me show you what it looks like in game. So I'm just going to jump into this private match real quick. Once this countdown finishes, I got my Coke here. Hold on. So you can see if I start touching the controller, it takes a second there to actually react. I'm pushing. There it goes. And according to the website, that is me pushing about, and you could do this yourself as well to figure out what your input is. Okay, so that is about 23% into it. And I'll show you now. I'm going to pop it up on the other screen. I'll just go like this. And you got to trust that I'm doing it on the other screen, but I'll tell you when it starts hitting. Right there. It starts moving, drifting. So the output is about 24%, 23% when it starts moving on my stick. So what I want to do is I want to build that out in my anti-dead zone. So you can see I have a 1% drift. I need to get that up to about 23%. Now, that's going to be pretty intense. I can walk it back from there to find where I like it. Let's start with 29. You should do the circularity test as your step 2. You're going to rotate. And then you're going to save. Now that I've done that, we are going to see in game. So now I can see it is fighting that dead zone. And if I look at my percentage, as soon as I touch, as soon. It's so hard to show you, but it's literally like as soon as I nudge it, it starts moving. And that is the big difference between not having it and having it. Now, here's the problem, and I'm going to show you, and you're going to have to find what you like best. But with a normal DualSense, right, these are the harder ones to calibrate. Because you can see right now, I am like maybe 70% on my controller. Actually, stable linear, not bad. Because sometimes you can get a square input, but this is very circular. So, let me show you the extreme. So this is first jump. If I switch to this and hit force save, well, let me first set it back to 0. Hit force save. So now it's the built-in dead zones that it always had. And now I'm going to bump that up to the same 23%. Now what's going to happen is, as I rotate, you can see at the max, it's getting square. It does little jumps. The trick is that it's because when you're, 50% through your controller, it's actually doing a full circle. And that you won't understand this until you do it yourself. But just know, as soon as I touch my controller, it's very sensitive. But it's going to hit 100% value when I'm barely touching it. I am barely touching it. So that is the difference between first jump and linear. Saturated jump is right in the middle. So now, let's go back to this one. Nice and smooth around the circle. And this all is being translated right in game. Nice and smooth at the max, but it's very snappy as soon as I touch. So I can track nice and easy. And it's no problem. I could track nice and easy. And granted, I'm dog shit at the game right now. So if you screw up your settings and your controller's going crazy or whatever anything could happen. What you want to do is come down here to rebuild safe baseline. Like that. Going to tell you exactly what to do, but just in case, keep both hands off of the sticks. Put the controller down. Going to hit next. Keep them both still. Now, it's going to tell you to rotate both sticks. Once you do that, you can hit complete. And that's it. Done. Now it'll be back to normal. No changes. And then you can calibrate it again. Now I'm going to show you with the DualSense Edge. So I'm going to unplug this. Now, like I said, all these settings stay saved on the controller. So once you unplug it from your PC, it'll still work. You could go to your mom's house because dad left her and still use this and it'll work. Let's go over on the DualSense Edge. So I'm going to toggle it on. Click my username. And I'm going to plug her in. So it's plugged into my computer. And you will need a computer for this, just to be clear. Now that it's plugged into the computer, I'm going to hit save. I'm going to choose my DualSense Edge to connect. Now, you guys with the DualSense Edge, you're going to get a lot more there. So I already have something on here already, so I'm just going to rebuild from the baseline. With this one, you want to use saturated jump, personally. That is the one I would suggest. Some people like first jump because it's very similar to the DualSense, but I suggest saturated jump. You're going to pull back these dead zones, and you're going to pull your Anti Deadzone up till it's about where you need it. Now, dead zones on Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 for the left stick are both at about 25%. The right stick changes between the two games. Black Ops 1 is at about, I believe, a 20, and Black Ops 2, it's at a 15. Now, what's nice is you can get it where you want it to be. Do your circularity test. So here we go. Boom. Save the settings. Now, when I hit save, it's going to say, what do you want set up? So you can actually choose not only, what the profiles are. So you can see here, I already have square for my function key is Rara square jump. Cross, I don't have as a profile. and circle I have as a regular profile I made on my PlayStation. You could choose where you want it. Now, I'm just going to overwrite square. And I could choose my paddles, what I want them to be. Overwrite the past one. Hit save. And now it is overwritten. You'll feel it vibrate on the edge. And I'm going to jump into the game. And I'll show you right now. So you'll choose the function key and choose your input. I'm on square jump. And it's nice and sensitive. And here's the thing. Not square at the front. Nice and round. So it's sensitive. I can feel it. And just to show you, this is the sense. I'm on 2. 2 sensitivity. You can fine tune this and find where you want it the best. For me, I really like it here. But I could dial it back too. I can go back to this. Pop it open. Go back to the dead zones. And say, you know what? 10's a little too high. Let's go to 6. All right. For save. Blah, 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 blah. Overwrite the past one. Save. And then I go back here. I can go, okay, that's not as sensitive. Because I'm saving it to the profile as well, I'm rewriting my own curve onto this. But you will not be able to access this. If you try to access it on your PlayStation, it will not show you. So I apologize for that. You can't make any adjustments to this profile. And that's why some people wanted first jump. So the world is your oyster. You have so many options. Now, here's the really cool part about all this. When you sign up, you will get a free 30-day membership for my audio. So if you do play on PC and you want to try, you'll get for $5 this whole access to this whole website. You could send your profile to someone else and they can load it. You can do a lot of different things. You can also just fix stick drift on any controller you want on this website that I've made. But also, for the $5, you get 30 days of my audio for free. And if you like it, then maybe consider, buying the audio or just using the free version. The world is your oyster. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.